Hello everyone, it's Enigma here, and today I'm ready to talk about something that, has been revealed today that, I kind of want to share my thoughts about it because, this has been something that's been rumored for a while. Now, yeah, like I said, this has been rumored for quite some time, and this is my first time I'm actually going to be talking about this. I was planning on talking about this topic in the past about potential Switch revisions, but I didn't want to do that just yet. I wanted to wait until official confirmation. And today, what do you know, we actually did get official confirmation for the Switch Mini, aka the Switch Lite as it's now called, and I kind of want to give my opinions on it and, basically what I think about this revision and, whether I think that, it's worth it or not, and, because I watched the whole video, and, yeah, I got some opinions about it, so, yeah, anyways, so, if you guys remember, before I get into my thoughts, if you guys remember, like, a few months ago, Nintendo, or I think Reggie, said that there were no plans for potential Switch revisions. I think it was actually Furukawa that said that. So Furukawa said that, there were no plans for Switch revisions. Now, this didn't stop us from thinking this was still gonna happen, because if you guys remember back in the DS days, I Satoru Iwata then said that, there were no plans for DS revisions. And then, like, a week after he said that, we got the reveal of the DS Lite, which is literally a DS revision. The same thing kind of happened here. The president said, okay, there's no plans for, potential Switch revisions, and then, like, a few months later this time, we actually get, confirmation of a Switch revision. So it's kind of, I don't know why Nintendo decided to just kind of, act like there was nothing planned. I feel like, I guess to not ruin the surprise, but I mean, come on, it was kind of leaked and stuff, there's a bunch of rumors about the Switch Lite. It was like, it was basically a matter of time before, until they reveal another Switch revision, and now we got the Switch Lite. So here's my opinions on it. So the Switch Lite is exactly how, I envisioned a Switch Mini or Switch Lite. It's a handheld. It's exclusively the handheld. There's no detachable Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons are, like, stuck together, so you can only play in handheld mode. There's no dock, and yeah, that's basically the main purpose of the Switch Mini, at the cost of being less expensive than a normal Switch. So yeah, now there are cheaper alternatives for getting a Switch. So if you really just want the Switch for, handheld gaming, then there you go. You can just get a Switch Mini. Well, I keep calling it Switch Mini, Switch Lite. So Switch Lite is kind of, built for handheld gaming. So what is my opinion on, the whole concept of this revision? I'm mixed about it. Here's why, alright? I do not see the point of getting it. Even if you don't have a Switch, I still don't see the point of getting this. And here's why, alright? So, the name, Nintendo Switch, the reason why it was called the Nintendo Switch is because there were so much, options that you could choose from when, designing your Switch. So you can have, like, controllers in certain ways. You can play with Joy-Cons on your gamepad. You can detach them, and then you can, like, switch your controllers around, and then as for, like, the console itself, you can play on your TV or on the go. And that is why the Switch got its title, Nintendo Switch. That is why we call it the Nintendo Switch. That's why it got its name. Removing all of that, like, features, the console diversity and, the controller diversity, it makes it less of a Switch and more of a downgrade. Now the good thing about this is one thing I do like about it is that this is a cheaper Switch. So I mean, for a long time we still had the $300 price tag on the Switch. It was still $300 2 years later after it was launched, and it's been the same since. But now we finally got a cheaper alternative. This one costs $200 instead of $300. So it's really good for people who don't want to spend overly much, and for people that, just want the Switch for handheld gaming. But let's be real here. A lot of gamers like to play both on the go and on TV. If you want, even if you want, the Switch to play in primarily handheld mode, you still have more options because you can play it on your TV as well. So even if I don't think every single handheld gamer only wants to play games handheld mode and nothing else. Certain games on the Switch are kind of built for TV mode. Some games I do agree are kind of built for TV mode, and there's some games on the Switch that you would probably rather want to play on your TV rather than on the go. So having the full experience of the Switch and the full experience of what makes the Switch is kind of important. And I feel like if you want a Switch, I would say save up your money and get a normal Switch, because if you want to experience the games the way that we got to experience them and experience a Switch the way it was originally built for, I would say get the original Switch, because if you want to play the Switch in TV mode and handheld, then there you go, you get both options. But then again, it is more expensive, but I would rather save my money for that than handheld. But I would say if you are a fan of handheld mode, then I could see the Switch Mini or Switch Lite. I keep calling it the Switch Mini. I'm just so used to saying that. Then I could see a reason for you to get the Switch Lite. There's also not going to be HD Rumble and other stuff like that. So this doesn't even have HD Rumble, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of weird because, I mean, especially for Super Mario Party and 1-2 Switch, those are games that heavily utilize, HD Rumble. And even Mario Odyssey, there's some moons you had to get with HD Rumble. So I don't know how you're going to be able to get, those moons and other stuff and other games, be able to do that stuff without HD Rumble. HD Rumble is an important factor of some Switch games, and it's just crazy that it's not going to be in the Switch Mini. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the 3DS have HD Rumble? So it's kind of crazy how the Switch Lite doesn't have HD Rumble. Honestly, so now I know this video wasn't long, but there was not much I had to say about this. All of my points were pretty self-explanatory. I don't necessarily see the purpose of it, especially as I'm already a Switch owner, so I'm probably just gonna stick to my normal Switch, if you want me to be honest with you. And I would say if you have a normal Switch, I would say that the Switch Mini is most certainly not worth it. If you already have a Switch, then keep your Switch. There's more options that you can do. You can experience the Switch in the way that it was built for. You can play on console and on the go. So if you already have a Switch, there's no reason to get a Switch Mini. I'm skipping out on the Switch Lite, so I don't really see a reason for anyone else that has a Switch to get a Switch Lite, unless you're really into collecting, Switches, or you just wanna, a full handheld experience. But other than that, I really don't see a reason why people would want the Switch Lite if you already have a Switch. But I will say I will recommend the Switch Lite to people who either A, don't have enough money to get, the Switch and just prefer handheld gaming. They only like the Switch for handheld gaming. Then that's a good option. Though, if you do like handheld and console gaming, if you like both of them equally, then I would say wait for the Switch. Wait for if you have enough money for the regular Switch, because then you can play on console and on the go. So I would just wait for that if you like both genres. But if you just like the handheld portion, then I would just wait then I would just wait until the Switch Lite comes out, and then you can have a cheaper Switch. And then speaking of cheap, if you just don't want to pay that much money for, the regular Switch, and you just want, you don't want to, if you don't have much money, then yeah, definitely the Switch Lite is guaranteed. But I mean, even then, even if you don't have enough money, or even if you do prefer handheld, I would still if I was in your position and I still didn't have a Switch, and I heard that the Switch Lite was coming out, which is a cheaper and built for handheld version of the Switch, then if I were you, I'd honestly wait for the regular Switch. But I mean, I could see some people wanting to go for the Switch Lite in case they A, like handheld, or B, don't want to spend that much money for the Switch, and they would rather have the Switch Lite. But yeah, I'm not feeling the Switch Lite. I'm definitely not gonna pick it up. Honestly, I feel like it would be a waste of money since I already have the Switch, and a lot of the features that the Switch Lite has is already built into the regular Switch. I can already play on the go with the regular Switch. So yeah, and I have more features. I can play on the TV, and I have HD Rumble and stuff. So I'm definitely keeping my regular Switch, but I can understand why people would want the Switch Lite, and I do understand the purpose of it. It's a cheaper alternative, and if you like handheld gaming, then that's for you. But I still don't understand it because the Switch already has handheld capabilities, so I don't understand that. If you want me to be honest, I think this would have been a great, I feel like this would have been perfect for the Wii U. Now, some people might be wondering, what? Well, but if the reason why I feel the Wii U failed terribly was because the gamepad, when they marketed it in commercials and stuff, they treated it like it was like kind of like the Switch now, where it's like a hybrid console where you can you can take the gamepad on the go, and if you're and then you can switch from TV to the gamepad. But when the Wii U came out, that did not happen. You get disconnected from the TV if you're too far away, which kind of defeated the purpose of the gamepad, in my opinion. But if they had this during the Wii U era, if they had like a Wii U Lite, do you know how much that would sell? I mean, playing Wii U games on the go. Of course, now, I mean, they're porting a lot of Wii U games over to the Switch, so you kind of have that. But I mean, if you were to sell that back in the Wii U days, I guarantee it would probably sell a lot more. I just feel like, the Wii U was kind of more in need of a revision than the Switch. I feel like the Switch is kind of perfect as it is. Not exactly perfect. There's still some flaws with it, like the eShop and stuff, which I'm not getting into in the online. But other than that, though, like the Switch, I just don't really feel the need for a revision because I mean, you can play on the handheld and on Go, so yeah. I've also heard rumors of a Switch Pro, but it's probably gonna be named something different since the Switch Mini isn't called the Switch Mini, it's called the Switch Lite now. So it's probably, it's probably gonna be exclusive to console gaming. Now, personally, I'm a console gamer. I prefer console gaming, honestly. I do play handheld gaming, once in a while, but for the most part, I'm more so of a console gamer. And even if I didn't have the Switch and the Switch Pro was like a more cheaper Switch, I would still rather get the Switch because, I mean, even if I did, want to bring my Switch along, I felt like it would be much better to just kind of like take it on the go and on my TV. And it's just so good. It's like one of the rare times where I actually do really enjoy handheld gaming. It was definitely handheld gaming and a different experience we've never seen before. And that's what really made the Switch special. But the Switch Lite, I just don't necessarily see the purpose. If you guys are excited, that's cool. But, I mean, as someone that's already a Switch owner, I'm probably gonna skip out on the Switch Lite, and I'm just gonna, probably, skip out on all the hype and stuff. I just don't understand the purpose of it. But that's just my personal opinion, and, I'm excited for you guys. If you guys don't have a Switch and want the Switch Lite, then I'm happy for you guys. You guys get a cheaper Switch, and you guys get to experience these games in handheld mode. But yeah, I'm probably gonna stick with my regular Switch, just to be honest. But anyways, what are your guys' thoughts on the Switch Lite? Let me know in the comments down below, and I would love to hear it. Anyways, this has been Enigma, and peace. See you next time.